Have you ever heard student loans are good for your taxes? I have. Today's video is going to talk about how good they are for your taxes or not. Stay tuned. What exactly is the student loan tax benefit that everyone is talking about? Basically, if you meet certain income requirements, you can deduct the amount you've paid on interest. How much interest can a borrower deduct? Up to $2,500. So that means you reduce your taxable income by $2,500. What exactly are the income limits for this student loan interest deduction? There are kind of two steps for the income requirement. There is the phase you get the max deduction from, and then there's also the sort of part where it starts to phase out. So if you make $65,000 or less as an individual, or $135,000 or less as a couple, you get the max student loan interest deduction. From $65,000 to $80,000 as an individual, the deduction starts to phase out. If you're married filing jointly, it starts to phase out from $135,000 to $165,000. If you're married filing separately, you don't qualify for this interest deduction. The big question is, what is the most money you can save with this student loan interest deduction? Well, if you're a borrower making between $38,000 and $65,000, you can save a maximum of $625. So I calculated that by assuming you're in the highest tax bracket that's eligible for this student loan deduction, which is the 25% tax bracket for 2017. And I took that number, so 0.25, times the maximum student loan interest deduction of $2,500. And that's how I came up with the $625. You can figure this out for yourself by taking the amount of student loan interest you actually paid and multiplying it times your percent tax from your 2017 tax bracket. How do you claim the student loan interest tax deduction? It's actually really pretty simple. Your lender will give you a 1098E form, and it will just lay out the amount that you've paid on student loan interest. A couple of pieces to note, most refinancing companies are actually eligible lenders, so they will provide you with a 1098E form, so you can deduct your student loan interest even if you've refinanced and now pay less of it. Alright guys, what did you think of that video? Have you ever used the student loan interest deduction? I know that I used to, and actually this deduction is what got me so interested in student loan debt in the first place when I paid almost $14,000 in interest in 2015 and couldn't deduct it because I was over the $80,000 individual income cap. So I would love to hear your stories about the tax deduction and if you've used it before, if you've run into any problems. We'll see you next week. Bye.